Babe, do you want to talk about the being a good driver story? That is such a good example of this.
Yes. So I'll bring it back a little bit. When I was 17, I graduated when I was 17, just birthday-wise. And when I did, I got a job right out of high school where I was driving all across New Jersey and Pennsylvania for my territory. So as a new driver, I clocked a lot of hours. And I became a very, very good driver. In fact, I almost found myself disturbed by myself because I would find myself at a location where I realized I wasn't even thinking the entire time. I was so in the moment when I was driving that I could go places without any real thoughts going through my mind, no methodical step by step. But what I also learned is I developed a lot of confidence because I had spent so many hours on the road and I had seen so many things where I learned to predict what could be happening. And I became, which is not a masculine trait, I became multi-focused. I always knew who was on the side of me. I could tell when someone was coming up too fast from behind me. I knew who was on my left. I could tell who was an asshole driver when they were behind me, not just in front of me. So I was already alert. And it would all happen on a subconscious level. So I became very, very confident as a driver. As I believe, a side effect of that confidence, I also realized I started to develop a heavy foot. So I would drive quickly, but I was completely in control of my vehicle. I even know how the tires felt on certain road conditions, and I could almost feel how it gripped the road. Added to my confidence, but made me drive fast. So this is way long before I met Stacy, and I had long ingrained the fact that I'm a very capable driver. So lo and behold, I get into a relationship, and my lovely wife is the passenger. And what would happen is I would be driving down the road, and all of a sudden, somebody who I was already aware of would sort of cross into our lane on the right-hand side, and I could feel the car getting closer. I had my peripheral vision. I see the cars coming closer, but I'm calm, and I'm thinking, what could I do? All right, I'm ready. I could move over a little bit to the shoulder here. The path is clear. I'm thinking these things in my head. But my lovely wife, who is very energetic and responsive, would do this. As soon as the car started to drift over, she's like, oh my God! And she'd like grab on to like the little thing that you hang your clothes on or whatever it's for. I don't know who's driving that fast. You have to hang on to something. But like they put these handles there in the front of the car. So she does that. Now, my entire focus, my confidence and everything, and my visibility into everything that's going on around me just went whoosh, right into the vehicle of the car, right on her, because I'm like, holy shit, what just happened? And instinctually, I'm like, now safety mode. I lost track of everything going on around me. And then I realized it's just like because the car drifted in, started to drift over to our side, I was aware of it. And I'm like, holy shit, don't ever do that again. And I'm getting angry. I'm like, that'll get us killed. You know, because now I'm not even watching the road. I'm totally fucked up. Broke my whole pattern. All my visibility, my radar just crashed. So it would trigger me. So now we're in a fight. We're in the car, like in a fight about something that wasn't even about us, right? Somebody drifted into our lane a little bit. And this would happen time and time again. We go out to like a nice dinner one night. And, you know, everything's beautiful. Everything's magic. You know, we have hours of great time. And then same thing would happen. It could be some other incident. Some were more obvious. Some were more intense. And I get it. But I'm stillness. I'm calm. I'm aware. I'm present. But I'm calm. It doesn't faze me. I don't get that jump that she gets. But she gets it. And she gets it in a very visceral way. So we'd have all these fights. And the meaning I would apply to this is I'm like, why the fuck can you not trust me? I would assure her what a great driver I was. How many miles I must have put on tires over the years. It's countless. And I was completely aware of what was going on. I'm like, why will you not just trust me? I got you. I will take care of this. You can let go. Just let me fucking drive. Right? So this will go on, but I wasn't getting the lesson. And that's the key. And this is one of the things I want to point out for you. You know, we say our problems. They're not. They're the gift. This gift was waiting to come to me over and over, but I was too thick-headed to get it. So it kept deciding to revisit me until I get it, because that's how life is. So it all happened. It kind of broke through one night where we were driving down the road. We were probably not even a mile from the house. And where we live, there are a lot of deer. Now they're just like raccoon and everything that are showing up around our area. But anyway, there were a lot of deer on the road. And we're driving down the road, and it's Pennsylvania, and there's not a lot of, for some reason, they don't believe in traffic or the street lights too much out there. So it's dark on the roads at night. Well, as another thing, I also have excellent night vision, luckily. I've always had good vision, so it's a gift. So we're driving down the road, it's dark, and I'm looking ahead, and I see this deer up ahead, and I'm like, all right, I see it. And I'm just watching it. It's far enough off the road where I'm not concerned about it. I'm going to keep moving. I'm not just going to like panic and stop in fear. You ready? We can't do that. You have to move forward, despite the circumstances. So I'm watching, and I'm aware of it. And Stacy said something which changed everything. She's like, do you want to say it?
Yeah. I'm driving down the road, and he saw it long before I saw it, and I saw the deer, and of course I did the like, oh my God, it's a deer, be careful. And again, it triggered him, and it was a few more minutes down the road. I'm asking myself, why? Right? I'm asking myself a quality question. Why? Because this has gotten painful for us. This had been years. I love my husband. I don't want to fight with my husband. I don't want him to feel that way. So I'm trying to figure out what is wrong with me. Why am I doing this? And I looked up at the road and the tree is ahead. And I know this road. It's right near our house. And I realized, I said to Paul, babe, how far ahead can you see the trees? And he said, I can see the trees all the way to the light. And I said, babe, I can't. I can't see that far. And I think that's why I get so scared. I can't see as far as you can see. I can't predict the way you predict. And I never knew until this moment that you can see that far. And what happened for you, baby?
So in that moment, it hit me. Because I know, since we met, I'm just now getting to the age where I have to wear glasses for reading. But I've never known what it was like not to be able to see. I actually had fantastic vision as a kid, too. So I'm coming up from my own, literally, perspective. And what I realized in that moment is when she's like, I can't see. I'm so glad you can see. I was like, wow. I put myself in her shoes for the first time on this one. And I realized if I was the passenger with someone who was overly confident, first of all, I would feel a definite need to balance that person out. That's what we do. If someone's on a farther edge of any kind of a range, we naturally tend to balance them out if we're tied to their fate. So I put myself into her shoes, and I realized, oh my God, I can't even imagine how that must feel to be going fast as a passenger where you have no control of the situation and you can't even really see it. You've got to be uncomfortable from moment one. And it's in that moment that I realized, you know what? I'm actually not a good driver. I'm not a good driver because in that moment I realized my definition for being a good driver wasn't that I could get myself safely there. My definition for being a good driver was, does my passenger who's with me feel safe and comfortable as I do? That became my new standard from that day on. So, instead of saying, I got to be me, and my standard is I'm confident, and you should see things my way, I realized I just wasn't seeing it through her eyes. And when I could, I felt the discomfort that she felt. I may not have the same visceral reactions, but I'd be uncomfortable. So my new job now became make her comfortable. Make sure that she felt as safe and secure as I do, so that we can get to these places and back without any problems. So what did I start doing? I changed my standard. And my standard now is, when I see that deer up ahead, I'll just say, hey, hon, I see that deer, no worries. Now she's like, okay, he's got it. I can relax a little bit. If someone starts coming into our lane, or I see someone coming up behind us that's already doing something not so smart, or they're just flying or whatever it is, I let her know, I tell her. And what's more is, I will slow down. If I'm going too fast, or I need to give someone space, internally I still have a little snag, and I'm working on that. I'll be with you. Just be with me on that, in the sense that I'm on the spectrum too, where sometimes she'll say, just give this guy space. And I'm already thinking, in my mind, I'm already giving that person space. But I'll back up even more, because it's not about how I feel about it, it's about how she does. So now I give her even more space. And now it's always a pleasant ride. And guess what? And we're going to go into this today. My label is, now I'm serving her. I get to feel good because I get to serve her, which fills me up. So I've raised my standard for what it is to be a good driver. I didn't hold on to, I got to be me, right? I changed it. But it's because I was able to see it through her eyes. And then I had a solution. And guess what? This problem doesn't visit us anymore. So I got to get rid of the thing that kept banging on my door and will continue to bang on my door until I recognize the gift that's in it. Once I got the gift, I get to keep it forever, and so does Stacy.